Yes, ma'am. Good morning. Good morning to all. And we have discussed the theory of consumer behavior and microeconomics introduction in the last class, isn't it? Now we are going to discuss the production and cost. Third chapter, production and cost. Okay. So I'm going to give you a short and detailed production, short and small, simple and short answers. Okay. You would have heard the term production, meaning production which means the conversion of raw material into finished products, isn't it? Production which means conversion of raw material into finished products. It's a process of creating or changing the product or things or services. Okay. So production is a process which the inputs are transferred into output. Input which are transferred into output. Okay, ma. This is called as production. Okay. And next concept we are going to discuss about the cost, revenue. Okay, cost. What do you mean by cost? It is the expenses incurred by a firm by producing the goods and services. Okay, whatever you want to produce, you have to purchase the raw material, and you need to acquire the factors of production. We have discussed in first year, isn't it? So land, labor, capital, organization are the four factors of production. You have to pay the rewards for the four factors of production: rent, wage, interest, profit. Okay, Nama? So that are all expenses. So expenses incurred by the firm, not only for the rent, but also current bill you have to pay, and technological services you have to acquire, and labor wages you have to pay, and purchasing of raw material are there, and so many, and borrowing. If you are borrowing the money, you have to pay for the rate of interest for the loans, etc. So that is known as cost of production. Okay, what do you mean by revenue, ma? Revenue. Cost which means expenditure incurred by the firm by producing the goods and services. Revenue. How the firm will receive the revenue? Okay, once I invested, I purchased the raw material, I appointed the labor, land is there for production process, and capital I have borrowed, and I am the organizer. Okay, everything is ready. Revenue how will I receive? After producing the goods and services, I will sell in the market, and I will receive the revenue for the sale of my goods and services. Okay, that is known as revenue. Okay, what do you mean by profit here? Profit. Once I sell my goods and services in the market, I receive the revenue, isn't it? I am the organizer. So after receiving my revenue, what I will do? I have to pay the remuneration for my factors of production. If the land is my own factors of production, I need not to pay the rent. Okay. Suppose I will appoint the labor. I have to pay rates for the labor. And capital. If it is my own asset, I need not to pay the interest. Suppose if I borrow from bank or other people, I should pay the interest. And at last profit. The remaining amount is profit which comes to me. Okay, so that is known as profit. Profit is the difference between total revenue and total cost. Okay, total cost of production and total revenue. Profit is denoted by pi. Pi, the symbol you see, profit is denoted by pi, which can be derived from the deduction of total revenue and total cost. Okay, Nama. Next concept, production function. What do you mean by production function? Which says the relationship between inputs and output. It shows the relationship between inputs and outputs in the production process. It is known as production function. Inputs and output relationship. Okay, ma? Relationship. It shows the relationship between inputs and output is the production function. Okay, the production function can be denoted by this equation. Q is the denoted function of L and K. Here Q denotes output. Output is a function of F denote function, L denote labor, and K denote capital. So these are the two inputs which are using for producing this kind of output. This is the formula for production function, mark. So production function can be explained with the help of isoquant curve. See here, isoquant curve. X, O, Y. Isoquant, here capital and here labor. Okay, ma? So isoquant is kind of IC curve only. In indifference curve analysis, I forgot to tell you one concept, ma, monotonic preferences. What do you mean by monotonic preferences? The rational consumer always prefers more of a commodity, more of goods and services that offers gives him a higher level of satisfaction. Okay, that is monotonic preferences. Now we are coming to the isoquant curve. IC curve, what is the meaning of IC curve? Locus of different combination of two goods which yield the same level of satisfaction. The same way here, this is production producer curve ma isoquant. ISO, IS2, ISO1, ISO2, ISO3. Which mean isoquant curve, IQ curve also you can mention IQ curve. Which mean isoquant curve, the different combination of two inputs which yield the same possible maximum level of output. The same, if you are reading the consumer point of view indifference curve, this is producer point of view isoquant curve. Remember ma, the all possible combinations of two inputs, all possible combination, more of capital, less of labor, or less of labor, more of capital. Okay, all possible combination of two inputs which yield the maximum possible combination of output, maximum possible output, okay, which is isoquant curve. And next short run and long run analysis we are going to discuss one. Short run, in the production process, in short run you can't vary all the variable inputs. You know that fact, land, labor, capital, organization, because short run denotes it can be a week or month. It won't denote the year, okay. So in the short run, all the factors of productions are fixed. So which is also known as fixed factors of production. Fixed factors of production, FOP. You remember I used to write the short form. FOP denotes factors of production. I will write once again. And next time onwards I am not going to write factors of production, okay. In short run, the factors of production inputs cannot be varied. All inputs are fixed. Okay, in the long run what will happen? There is a sufficient time for the producer to increase the factors of production. They can increase either labor or capital or whatever it is. So the long run, all the factors are varies or varied. You have a fill in the blanks. During long run, all the factors are varied. Okay, which is also known as variable factors of production. Variable factors of production, FOP. Remember Amma? Okay. Now we are going to discuss about the total product, average product and marginal product concept. Total product, TP. Okay. Total product, which means it is the relationship between fixed input, variable input with the output. Relationship between total product is the relationship between variable inputs and the output is known as total product. It is a relationship between variable inputs and output. Variable inputs and outputs. Okay, Nama? Variable inputs and output. And average product, which means it is the output per unit of input. Average product. Average product AP is the output per unit of input. Output per unit of input. Output per unit of input, which can be written in a formula AP is equal to TP by Q, which means one unit increasing. When we increase the one unit of input is raw materials. The things which are resources which are used for the production process is known as input. Output, which means the produced product, is known as output. So first you should be knowing, that's what I said, production. Production is the transformation of input into the output or conversion of raw material into the finished goods. Okay. So average product, which means it is the output per unit of input. Next marginal product. Marginal product MP, which is written by MP, which is addition made to the total product by using the addition unit of input. Like marginal utility, I said no, it is the extra or additional utility derived from the consumption of additional unit of commodity. The same way, marginal product, which means additional product received by the additional product which means output. The extra or additional output received by the firm by using the additional input. If I use extra input, I will receive the extra output. Okay. So the marginal product formula can be written like this: MP is equal to delta TP divided by delta Q. Q or L you can write L labor only we are using. No, this is not a consumer point of view. This is labor producer point of view. So we should write the factors of production. Okay, Lama. So marginal product, this is output, and extra output received, the extra total changes. Delta denotes changes. TP denotes total product. L denotes labor. So changes in labor, if they increase the labor level, they will get the total product level also will increase. That is known as marginal product. Okay, ma. Then the TP, AP, MP can be explained with the help of table and diagram. Now you see labor 0, 1, 2. Actually 0 should not be there. If it is 0, there will not be a production loss. So you can ignore the 0 when you are doing this. You have an exercise sum also for this to solve the TP, AP, MP. If you are thorough with the formula, you can easily solve AP and MP. Okay. So what I am going to do, I am going to give the values for this. 0, 10, 24, 40, 24, 40, 50, 56, 57. Okay, Nama. So total product values are given. So average product, you know the formula. What is average product formula? TP by L. Total product divided by L. So here 0 will be there. And total product 10 divided by 1, 10. 24 divided by 2, 12. 40 divided by 3, 40 by 3, 13.33. Okay. Next 50 divided by 4, 12.5. Next 11.2, 9.5. 11.2, 9.5. Next marginal product formula is TP. Delta TP divided by delta L. Change in labor. So 0 here. 10, 14, 16, 10, 14. See, you can do this also. MP is equal to TPN minus TPN minus 1 also you can solve. How can we do means? You will deduct from the previous value, next value to previous value. So, 10 minus 0, 10. 24 minus 10, 14. 40 minus 24, how much ma? 16. Okay. 50 minus 40, 10. Next 56 minus 50, minus 6. 6 plus 6. 57 minus 50, 6, 1. Okay. We got these values for the relationship between TP, AP, MP. And I am going to draw the diagram for TP, AP, MP. See here. This is the law of variable proportion which is short-run production function of the relationship between total product, average product and marginal product. And here labor and capital we are drawing. We are going to draw the labor and capital here. See, if you plot the values 0 to 6, you should plot for both x-axis 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And here highest value is what they are given 57 is there. So y-axis what are the values we can plot? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Because 67 is the highest value. Sorry, 57 no. So 70 I have given. Anyway, if you join this all the line, you will get a upward sloping curve, that is TP. Okay, 6 I will finish TP. Next marginal product curve. Marginal product curve will reach the 0 and average product curve will go here AP. This is MP. Okay ma? So this is the relationship between AP, TP and MP. So you know that in the short run you can't change the factors of production. In long run the factors of production will keep on changing. Okay? Law of diminishing marginal product or law of variable proportion we are going to discuss now. Law of diminishing marginal product. See here, law of diminishing marginal product. Diminishing marginal product or law of variable proportion. Both are same meaning only, will get law of variable proportion. Will give the same meaning see here, law of variable proportion. What will happen now? In the law of variable proportion, short run production function they are explaining. Already I told you, in short run they can't increase the factors, all the factors easily, because within a week, within a month they can't do the magic of changing the labor or capital, because the fund also cannot be arranged, isn't it? Here short run variable proportion says initially the marginal product or average product or total product production may increase in the increasing rate, and after reaching the certain level it start decreasing. All the production will decrease in the short run. That's what you know, that in the short period of time you can't change any output due to the time constraint. So that is the thing here law of diminishing marginal product says the marginal product will start increasing their decreasing rate at the beginning and reach one certain level and start falling and goes to negative also, 0. This is the law of diminishing marginal product. Okay, and shapes of TP, AP, MP what are the shapes of TP, AP, MP? shades of total product, average product and marginal product we are going to discuss now. Shades of TP, AP, MP. See ma, X, Y, O. Shades of TP, AP, MP. Labor, capital. Y-axis, capital. Okay na ma? So the TP curve will start go like this one. It will start increasing and reach maximum, again start falling. This is the shape of TP curve because the reason behind the total product is it can't be keep continuously increasing, though you increase the factors of production. And the MP and AP curves will draw in the same diagram only. Why I am drawing this? You have a 1 mark question also the shapes of curves, and you have a 4 mark question also, so don't forget to practice the diagram. Here MP is this kind of curve and AP is inverse U-shaped curve. Inverse U-shaped curve. It will intersect in the point where it starts falling. I have done the mistake in AP curve. AP curve will intersect the MP curve. Where MP is start falling, there it will intersect this point. Okay. So this is average product curve. This is P. This is L. Okay. Here this is Q and this is L. Okay, ma. This is this point you can mention Q and L. Okay, no need of mentioning anything. This is marginal product and average product. Don't forget, ma. Here the marginal product curve is shade. You know the shade. Shade of average product curve. When average product start increasing, the marginal product, you have a 4 mark question of describe the relationship between marginal product and average product. Concept is there. So what you will do? You will draw the diagram and you will explain the three relationship. So it is the shade of average. Marginal product is the shade of average product. Once the average product start rising, the marginal product also will start rising. This is first point. And when it reach maximum, and this will cut in the minimum point, and when this the average product it won't keep increasing at the certain time, because when the total product falling, average product also will start falling, because you know that what do you mean by average product? It is the output per unit of input. So TP by L. When TP start falling, obviously AP also should fall. So when an average product start falling, the marginal product intersect there and it will become lower than the average product. These are the three differences or three relationship between TP, AP, MP mark. And last we are going to discuss the relationship, returns to scale. Returns to scale. Scale you have seen. Scale denotes the long term. So the returns to scale concept we are going to discuss now. Returns to scale, the same TP, AP relationship. What will be there? If you keep increasing the inputs, what will be the output in the long run? Okay, that is the concept. Returns to scale. Returns to scale. Okay, ma? Returns to scale. See here, there are three returns to scale. This concept is explaining during the long run period when the producer keep increasing the all factors of production. What will be the effect or what will be the result or output side? Okay. So there are three kind of returns to scale. One is increasing returns to scale, increasing returns to scale, returns to scale, IRS we used to say, and it can be written like this. See, the equation is given. Increasing returns to scale, for the increase in returns to scale, function of Tx1 into Tx2 is greater than this is greater than, no? Yes dear. T dot function of x1 into x2. Okay, in this new output is this one. This is new output and this is old output. This is already existing output. Existing output. I'll tell you what will happen. So this is first increasing returns to scale. Number 2, constant return to scale. Constant. You know the meaning of constant. Constant returns to scale. What will happen in the long run? CRS in short form we will write. So if here f Tx1 into Tx2 is equal to T of F into x1 into x2. Okay, and third one, decreasing returns to scale or diminishing returns to scale also you can mention returns to scale. Okay, so DRS. Okay, so now I will write you see function of Tx1 into Tx2 is less than the Tx1 and x2. So I will draw the diagram, I will explain the concept. X, O, Y, output, labor and capital, labor and capital. See here this diagram is not given in your textbook, it was there in the old syllabus, but it is very easy to understand by seeing this diagram. That's what I am drawing this. First, returns to scale we will discuss. This is the long run production function concept. Variable proportion is short run production function concept. Don't forget, if you have a difference between these two, then only we will explain the concept. Short run production function. Still top the class production function is there, we will discuss in next class. Long run production function concept. So you know that production function shows the relationship between inputs and outputs. So in short run what will happen, they have mentioned, it may start increasing the total product, reach maximum, start falling. That all you will explain in the short run production function or variable proportion. You will write the meaning of FT, TP, MP and diagram over. And tabular format also you will include. Here returns to scale which shows the long run production function. Already I told you, in the long run producer will get a sufficient time to increase their factors of production. So what will happen here? They are saying once you increase the input, which is raw material, land, labor, capital, the output may increase, the output may remain constant, the output may decrease. That's all. Listen. If I am giving continuous coaching, or if I am giving so many material and spoon feeding if I am doing, I may get a equal result what I am putting my effort, and I may get a greater result what I put my effort, and I may get a less result what I put my effort. That's all. Result equal result an example. So the same way here production, they are saying the producer being a producer, they are increasing the product inputs, which is land, labor, capital, organization, technologies, electricity and raw material, everything. They are increasing. What will happen with the output in the long run? Other based on the the climatic condition, pricing policy, government taxation, I don't know, but this and all also will decide our output. So it can be increasing. The theme you should remember, the long run, if the producer keep increasing the input, what will happen with the output? It can be a negative, it can be a equal, it can be greater than your luck. Okay, so that only the concept and equation is given. Increasing returns to scale shows the compared to this, the existing output, the input may be greater than, see the symbol what I have mentioned, greater than symbol. It can be increased more than the input what you invested. Maybe I invested 50 lakh and I am receiving the more than 1 crore. Obviously, it's a greater than supernormal profit for me. And next one, constant return to scale equal to my investment. ನಾನು ಎಷ್ಟು ಎಫರ್ಟ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೀನೋ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಆಗಿ ನಾನು ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ, ಸಾಕು ನನಗೆ ಇವರಿಗೆ ರಿವಾರ್ಡ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದ ಮೇಲೆ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಪೇಯಿಂಗ್ ದ ರಿವಾರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೈ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಲಿಟಲ್ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್, equal profit, normal profit I will receive. This is constant return to scale. At last, diminishing or decreasing returns to scale shows compared to the input. This is input nama. I told you in the first line itself. These are input, existing inputs. Okay. Compared to the this is inputs, existing inputs. Okay. These are inputs ma. So compared to my inputs, see my inputs is greater than this output. Output is less than my input ma. Nanu maybe 50,000, I have invested 50,000 but I am receiving only 10,000 or 20,000 crore or lakhs. So this is decreasing returns to scale. Decreasing, the word itself self-explanatory, saying ನಾನು ಎಷ್ಟು effort ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೀನೋ ಅದನ್ನು ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. Okay, this can be explained with the help of this diagram. In the old syllabus it was there. That's why to make it simple I am explaining. Output you see ma, labor and capital they are increasing. Initially the output start increasing more than the labor and capital and reaching constant, and again started decreasing overall. So this is the loss of returns to scale, and remaining Gauss production function and other concept we will discuss tomorrow. Past concept is there. Thank you children.